everybody. Head on over to Clarksville Hobby Depot. Punch in that code, WebCOfficial, to get 10% off.
I'd like to introduce. I would like to introduce. Wiser.
And welcome to WebC Builds Live. And tonight we have a guest in for the show tonight. It is Cloudwize. Welcome in, Bit. Thank you for joining us tonight on this amazing episode of WebC Builds Live. And this week, you are going to be one of the last of the many interviews I've had throughout this late spring, early summer here. Which they've been really great interviews. I gotta find my interview questions here real quick. Oh, found them. Good. But I have these questions, and we're gonna go through them, and you're gonna answer them. And they're gonna be great questions. So no worries. All right. So the first thing I want you to do is kind of like reintroduce yourself to everybody, all the new people who are gonna watch, all the old people. Reintroduce yourself. Tell us who you are, and we can find you on social media.
All right, so 1 second. Could you please repeat it? I had a little technical difficulty I had to fix real quick.
Oh, hold on. I said, introduce yourself and tell us who you are and where we can find you on social media.
All right, so as far as the social media goes, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, Discord, and Threads. And it's all under Cloudwize. Some of them, pretty soon, I'm thinking about switching some of the way they're set up, so watch out for that. But yeah, and I am Cloudwize. I'm a nerdy modeler or artist, as I would say sometimes. I'm hoping to get my studio out there so I can keep sharing the love I have for this hobby. Like Meijin Kawazuki III said, gunpla is freedom. I'm a firm believer of
that. How did you get into modeling? What was your step in? How soon? How long has it been? Where is that actually at for you?
So my first model that I put together was actually a PG-38 Lightning. It was a Revell, and I was probably about 16 or 17.
All right.
So, and before that, I built with Legos, and so I've always been kind of the creative type.
Cool. Well, really, because I know you so well, this next question is kind of I have to change for you because it doesn't fit. You're not a new builder. I wrote these questions that I have for newer builders because I was trying to interview newer builders and showcase newer builders and stuff. So for you, I already know you're a custom builder. So what inspired you to custom build? Where was your custom build inspiration? How did that happen?
All right, so like when Gundam Seed first came out, and it was the Strike Gundam, and I saw so many variations of things. Just all the ideas would come racing through my mind of what you could switch it up with, and then later on the Strike Freedom. It took my mind off on a race, and then I started going back throughout the years and following certain magazines. I'd see custom builds throughout it, and like certain things like different robots and mechs and things like that. And then like early 2000s is when I started finding out that kit bashing was a thing.
So yeah, that's great. That's a great jumping off point. Is those strike Gundams? I know that what what could be inspiration for many is something as simple as that, as seeing that, oh my God, even or in the cartoon that the creators of the cartoon gave it that notation of, hey, look, we can change up the armaments of these things. Like, that's pretty cool. You're right. All right, the next one. Are you entering any competitions we should look out for? Are anything looking up for you on the competition level? I know you're a custom builder. You got anything going in that department?
Well, not right now. I really don't know of any in my area. And I'm still getting out there. So maybe here after a while, maybe with the first stage of this build that I'm working on, maybe with it, if it comes out a certain way. I'm not holding any expectations. We'll wait and see what goes with it, though.
Okay. These questions go pretty fast, I tell you what. Where are we right now in the recording? All right, we're in a good spot. So what's your favorite non-mecha anime, and why, and where did you first see it?
Okay, so my favorite non-mecha anime, it's a toss-up between two. So people are probably going to think I'm a little bit different for this, but I really liked Hellsing Unlimited. Thought that was an awesome series, better than the regular Hellsing, and Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm. That's a good tie. That's a good tie. Now I've seen quite a bit of the Hellsing franchise, and that is a crazy anime franchise. So
It is
I didn't
awesome.
get to see all of the Unlimited, but I did get to see quite a bit of the first set of Hellsing, and where they like Alucard is a pawn for them and everything. That whole section, that's crazy. So I could imagine Unlimited just goes a little bit beyond that, right?
Think of it as like the unrated version of Deadpool.
Okay.
But here's something to think about. Like, don't answer the question out loud, though, please. What does Alucard spell backwards?
Oh, we already know that. Everybody should know that that's watching this podcast. If you don't,
Seriously.
ask in the comments and I'll answer. That's what you do.
Yes.
Ask in the comments. I will answer later on down the line if you don't know what Alucard spells backwards. All right. Moving on to I like to ask this question of everybody, new and old. Which Gundam series do you relate to as a builder and a fan of Gundam?
Well, it's a toss-up between a few. Mostly, I would have to go with G Gundam and the Seed part of the franchise. Mostly between Domon and, well, Athron sometimes, Kira sometimes, depending on the mood I'm in. Those characters are the ones that mostly speak to me the most throughout the entire series that they go through. It's their journey that they go through, I guess. Plus, their suits are pretty cool. God Gundam, that's always a good one to choose.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can totally agree with that. Like, my personal relation to Gundam is IBO.
IBO, Mikazuki.
Well, not necessarily just being Mikazuki, just in general. I'm an orphan, for quite a bit of my childhood, I didn't have parents, so that whole part of IBO kind of just hits home for me, making something better for yourself and stuff. So just to give people a little glimpse in, what's going on with me and stuff. So IBO
We've had
really
that
relates to me
conversation.
that, how, in there they treat children like throwaways and stuff. I just, I feel like the adults in my world at the time of my childhood did a lot of that too. So, so that triggered some kinship for me. Not just Mikazuki, but all of those characters that are from the Iron Flower, dude. Like the Iron Flower, I will definitely be like, I've been looking for some really cool tattoo ideas, but I'm gonna be getting me an Iron Flower soon. So that's just.
As far as
Come back to you though. What kit so far that you've completed, not like what you're working on now, but what you fully completed and finished, what kit is your favorite build so far?
well, I would have to say my Freedom 2.0, and there's a little bit left to go on it, and I've got to find some replacement parts now. So I don't know if I'm actually going to completely finish it, and it's just panel lining and a little sanding here and there. But yeah, I thought that was a very fun build. It was awesome. When I saw it, I knew that was gonna be the entry master grade for me to get back into them.
Yeah.
I did when I was younger. A few of like the original EW kits from Wing, and then I hadn't done them for years after that.
Sweet. Let's see, where am I? Grail, Holy Grail kit. What is your Holy Grail kit? Now you can have it on hand on deck and you're like you haven't built it yet, or like you still haven't bought it yet. What's your Holy Grail kit?
My Holy Grail kit would probably be an MGX Strike Freedom.
Well, that sounds cool.
Or, well, I have two technically. My second one would be a High Rim God Gundam.
Okay, so I've seen that kit, and that kit's shiny. That is a shiny kit.
But the price leaves me extra salty.
Yeah. Only reason why I have one High Rim kit is because I won it in a competition. So.
You're lucky, man.
Yeah, I was too, because I wasn't expecting for them to be coughing up a kit that cool in a competition. I was like, okay. So
Aren't the High Rims actually technically a third party?
No, they're Bandai products. They're Bandai products.
I thought the Astro frame was pretty cool too.
So what it is that makes the High Rim special is you don't have to build the inner frame. So that's what makes the High Rim special. Is so when you get the High Rim, the inner frame's pre-built. And then what you do is you clip on some inner frame parts to bulk up the inner frame, and then you clip on the outer shell. And that's how the High Rim Gundam kits work. So it's like half action figure, half model kit. Not bad. There were some really good bonuses to having it that way, though. It cleaned up really fast. The gating was beautiful. Everything the kit is a really nice kit. It's really peak Gundam, So I can imagine. I have the Wing Zero custom, so I can imagine the God Gundam being just as good.
Oh,
But
I had fun building the
kits. Yeah, all of the High Rim kits come with the pre-assembled inner frames. What is it? The Astray, the new Astray comes pre-assembled. The Wing
Wait,
Zero
wasn't there a mass production type that came out not too long ago?
There might be.
Astro?
There might be. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. All right. So let's see. Okay. So Holy Grail. What would you tell? So there's a whole bunch of people, a new generation of people really coming into the hobby. What would be one thing you would give them as a tip or advice to keep them going back and buying more kits? What would be that catch, that hook and line and sinker that gets them really to stick with it?
Well, I guess I would have to say that it's freedom of expression. There's no one way to build a gunpla. There's so many different ways. You learn how to expand your talent and build on your knowledge base and meet some really awesome people in the process if you start into that, like the online part of the community. Some of the people I've met through this has been really awesome, and getting to express myself is awesome too.
All right. We are going to hit a message from our sponsors.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey everybody, head on over to Clarksville Hobby Depot. Punch in that code WebCOfficial to get 10% off a purchase of $25 or more. Clarksville Hobby Depot has a whole bunch of cool hobby items for sale. From RC cars to model planes and tanks. You can also find your favorite robot models at ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com. So head on over there and use that code.
All right, and we're back. We have actually pretty much reached the end of the question part of the podcast. Like, that went a lot faster. I do have a couple type of questions that I can ask for you that are more specific for you. What are your goals with your hobby? What is the outcome and goal, does that bring for you? Are you trying to become a famous person? Are you trying to become an influencer that helps people along, or are you trying to create a new lane? What is Bit Cloudwize's goal here?
Well, the gunpla part of it is only one part of my studio. What the hell?
I think your camera froze.
Yeah, I think my camera. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's getting hot. I'm gonna have to. Give me 1 minute here. Son of a biscuit.
All right. And while he's getting ready, I'm going to
Okay, there we go.
get my work here.
So, like, one of the things that is only one of many parts of it, as far as the gunpla goes. Like I've said at the beginning, I'm a nerdy artist or modeler. I want to get my work out there as a custom nerd model person or artist, whichever one I happen to land on, with the person that I'm doing work for or helping with, or and then there's going to be the other parts of it, like artwork, possibly even some electronic work, like stuff for covers and things like that, decals.
All right. Cool.
I'm still working on the planning of it all.
Makes sense. I like it. So here we are. We have our extra cameras have been pulled up, and tonight my showcase will be this guy right here, the Dragonzord. Oh, look at that! You can see the bottom of his feet. Those look pretty cool too. I reverse washed this kit because I had to repaint this whole kit because I had one issue with it when I pulled it out of the box. Guess what that was, Bit?
The color sucked.
Well, the golds didn't match.
Yeah, that's always a problem.
So the gold on this part of the kit did not match the gold on this part of the kit, and it did not match the gold on the rest of the kit. So this gold and this gold and this gold. There were literally three different golds. So I had to take and paint them the right way. I had to fix that. I couldn't leave that like that. So that's
No,
what I
I
did.
couldn't get that either.
So here is on the tail though. What I did to create 3D effect and dimension was I left a section of the tail unpainted, and then I painted the rest of the tail. So the
We
rest of
had
the tail
to-
had
we
like a
had
nice
to-
metallic-y, and then the unpainted that's the original silver. So what would you rather have? Would you rather have it the two colors or that dull color?
That actually is really cool the way you did that up.
And
And we
then,
had somebody decide to take a swan dive.
oh no.
He fell. Yeah.
So, and then the only other customization that I did was I painted the head green. The head normally isn't green on this kit. It's usually black, but
Mm-hmm.
it just needed that. I felt like it needed an update. So that update works pretty well. It looks really well too. So this is also a model kit that does match with the rest of a Megazord, and you can turn this guy, you can transform this guy into his Megazord components. So there's that. That is what it's also for. And then for the rest of the night, while we're talking, I'll be working on this kit for the rest of the night. This is a master grade MK2 Titans that I will be custom painting. Come back here, buddy.
So right here is the kit that I've been working on for a while, and there will be more. So this is the Guardian God. The first stage of it. It's going to have a couple different stages, different armaments. But this one it has a it has the saber from Command Quantity that I'm going to do some work on.
Okay.
And I redid the face from the Destiny head, and I added a Mechonis headdress, Build Strike pads, some God Gundam in there, and Helios, I believe, and Destiny. More Destiny. But that's what this is all done with. And then I also added armor here over the knee and shin. But you can still, if you look in there the right way, you can still see that there's a crystal in there. That's it as far as the customization work goes for it. And the two plates here.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Now that I'm done with my section of the job, I just got to keep an eye on the clock for the next 6 minutes. So we have 6 minutes, and then we're going to take a quick intermission, and then we'll be right back to do a little bit more work, to do the other half of the podcast. Bit's already aware of the intermission, right, Bit?
Yes, I am.
All right. And then after the intermission, we'll just come back and keep talking and doing what we're doing, hanging out for the next 30 minutes, doing some work. I am sanding some mold lines. You see that shiny bit between the two dull parts? I'm getting rid of that. That's what I got to get rid of that. So you get a couple options for how to get rid of that. One is you just go down to a coarse sanding number like 180 or 280, and you just take that coarse sanding number and you just keep going at it. You have fun. So that's what we're working on, getting all that done. These parts are really tiny. I do have to. I'm not trying to complain, but for a master grade, these are some tiny parts, Bandai.
I've heard that there's screws involved in that one.
There's a bunch involved in this kit. I'm not. Yeah.
That's an old school one, ain't it? Like
Yeah.
circa 1980?
No, not that old. I don't think master grades go back that far, but it is on the older side of the kits. Let's see, what was it? 2006, everyone. 2006. It's almost 20 years old.
Well, I know that show came out in the 1980s originally over there. It didn't come out here until way later, though.
Oh yeah, but they didn't come out with master grade kits until the 2000s.
Yeah, Wings.
They
I
had
think
high grade.
The Wing
They had
series
high
was one of
grade
the first ones.
100s. Yeah, I think they did the Wing Gundam 160 before they came out with master grade.
Yeah,
Not
but
Wing Grade, not Wing Gundam Perfect. I'm talking Wing Gundam 160. It was bad. It was real bad.
yeah, I
Like
still see
Gundam
it from
back in the
time to
day,
time.
we're spoiled nowadays, but back in the day, back in the 90s, oh, you had to put some work into your kits if you wanted them to look nice.
Yeah,
You
a
had to put
lot
in.
of carving in certain
Yep.
places.
Yeah. Oh, I was cleaning out an old toolbox today, and I found a section of a Ultron Custom.
Whew.
Arm is from the Ultron Custom. Now, you know the difference between the Ultron Custom and the Nataku, right?
The Ultron Custom has the dual heads that are more celestial dragon looking with the dual beam trident.
No,
And
no,
it
no.
also has the wings on the back that are with the tail cannons that come up over
That's the one.
and the shield.
Yeah, that's the difference. So, compared to Nataku, where Nataku just has the two big, huge dragoons on his arms, and that's it.
Mhm.
Why do I grabbed the wrong one? Dope. Yeah. So I had the Ultron Custom, and that was an amazing build. I fully painted it and everything. But back then in the mid 2000s or late 2010, 2011 when I painted it, it didn't have uh, I didn't have access to an airbrush and stuff, so I painted it by hand with really thick testers enamel paints. And let's just say, yeah, it's a sight for sore eyes. I pitched it though. I did not keep it because the plastic was so old and eaten up by the enamel paint that it was, you could squeeze it and the plastic turned to crumbs. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Okay, that was 600. Now we need the purple one. Color coded. If your sponges are color coded, you'll get to remembering which ones you need for which grit. Purple is 800, light blue is 1,000, dark blue is 1,200. Then
I
the
actually saw something out the other day. I didn't have the money to pick it up, but it was, you know how they have the real thin belt set for like belt sanders, the real thin ones.
yeah,
Well, they have all those, but there's like a little. It's about this long, and you put those around it. It's about like that big, little plastic thing, and then you can use it to sand with. I thought that would actually kind of come in handy. There's different colored ones on it and everything.
yeah.
Saw it at a tool store.
Oh, okay. Yep. And then I was gonna put together a high grade kit yesterday, but I think I'll wait until actually Friday and put it together. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I've been stuck on this same bin of parts for this master grade for the past week because I just haven't wanted to sit down and do any work, and I've been busy doing too much other stuff. But I know the time crunch is getting closer and closer, and I got a lot of other work to do on this kit before it's going to be done, so I got to hurry up here. So that's something I've been like, tomorrow I'm going to probably put in a good 5 hours of work on this kit.
Well, like with me, I haven't been able to really. I've been able to build, but actually sit down and get a full couple hours in or anything. No. Well, you know what's been going on with me lately.
Yeah, it's all good. So, yeah, I got this part. So I nipped it. This is like the worst nipping I'll ever do sometimes. But sometimes the part, like, it's a thick cut part, or like they put the nip where it's really hard to get like a certain size of like this. The blade just doesn't. There's not a real comfortable place to get it when it's like this. So it's like when you're trying to, you're worried that you're going to hurt something. So you nip further out with your other nipper, which is always have two, secondary and primary nippers. Then when you come back, you can take this and you can first nip it down so that it's got just a small, tiny little nub right here. There you go. Now you can see it. So it's a lot smaller. And then once you do that, you can take it and go like this. Then you can put the blade right on the piece and do your final cut. And then it's nice and smooth. And there should be almost like no work left to do once you've done that. But because I'm painting this whole kit, I have no choice but to stand it anyways. Because I don't want the paint to show that mark, that nub cut. I want that to be a smooth spot. And I also want all the mold lines gone that are on this kit. For some reason, this kit has a lot of mold lines.
Well, have you looked at it? Like, really looked at the way it's built? It's actually kind of the way the Mach 2 is built. The way it looks is it gives off a weird reading on radar or something. Just saying.
So this kit, I don't know anything about in-show, like the in-show lore. I don't know anything about that. But what I do know about this kit build-wise is this kit and the real grade of this kit are basically the same. Like they built the real grade, they designed it off of this kit. So everything, when you're putting things together on this kit, it was everything they put into the real grade, just bigger. So that's what I do remember. So they took the real grade when they made the real grade MK2. They just gave it to they just gave it to that. I don't know how to explain it, like in a good way.
Well, they basically just copied and shrank.
Yeah, copy and shrink. They rescaled it.
Mm-hmm.
They did. They took 80% of the size away and said, "Here you go." Which I'm not complaining about because really, I mean, there's some good detail on these bigger pieces. So don't be hating. Don't be hating. There's not very much work for me to do. I don't know what I want to do though. So I will be painting the inner frame a specific color, and then I'm going to take, I think, the Molotov chrome pen, and I'm going to chrome the crap out of everything. I think that's what I'm going to do for it. I think that's my mode of operations for the inner frame. Anyways, the outer side, I'm going to be doing this painted jean fabric material paint job. It's going to be the first time I've ever tried this paint job, and it's going to be pretty epic. And that's about all I'm going to say about it for now. Because one, it's a really cool idea. I don't want anybody taking my idea right now. That's the most you'll hear about it. I won't go into like the process of how you do that, but if you research lacing and airbrushing and the term lacing, you may figure out what I got going on in my build. But other than that, that's all I can tell you. I'm not cheating, I promise. I'm doing all the work myself.
Well, if you can tell the difference between
what's going on there? Uh-oh, we went over our time on that. All right, well, I'll have to download it and see how
you can tell the difference between the one on top and the one on bottom.
Not really. I said that I'm not seeing too much of a difference.
Alright, so if you look here, like it's got a panel line. I got it out. Like I sanded it all the way out. It's
Okay.
pretty much smooth all the way around. And I kind of reshaped the armor a little bit. Gave it a little bit of a downward angle on the bottom part going
Cool.
in.
Cool. Okay, 400, 600. Here we go. Yeah, last night after you got off of TikTok, dude, I went back on live and I like randomly just invited some random people into the live and hung out with them for a little bit. That was pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
And I got tired around midnight. And I was trying really hard for like the last 20 minutes. And I eventually just got to the, I had to tell them, I was like, hey guys, I'm getting real tired. It's been a long day. I gotta go. They're like, oh, okay.
I crashed out pretty soon after that. I had to get up real early this morning. I had class today.
Oh yeah, school's awesome.
Oh, just power.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we had some predicted bad storms come through yesterday, but they weren't as bad as the predictions said they would be.
Don't you just love when that happens?
Yeah, I mean, there's some spots that got hit hard. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, just where they said the bad storms are going to be, the bad storms went like the opposite direction. Does that make sense? So,
Yeah, I can understand that.
so we still got some storms. In less than a 20-minute downfall, we got over a half inch of rain.
Dang.
Yeah, so that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that I would have to say so. Oh, wow. Now I gotta do this. Kind of. So there's a guy on TikTok that I follow. He's building Dean's baby.
What?
He's building Dean's baby. You know, baby.
Oh, from the car. Yeah. Well, that's cool.
If you look on one of the videos, you should see the comment I did.
I'll go try and look for that in the future. In the future. What?
I've heard rumors that they're shutting down Yokohama's Gundam base.
Well, they didn't shut down Gundam Base. What they did is they shut down the attraction. Does that make sense?
Why did they shut it down?
Well, I have a couple of theories. The first theory is, you know, where they have that at, it's right next to a lot of ocean water and stuff off of a beach. And that water can be corrosive. So, you know, the safety and stuff of that machinery might not be that great right there for a long period of time. You know what I mean? There might be some unforetold maintenance they're finding from the salt water. The next thing is they may be doing actual research on building real Gundams. And I know that sounds like, wait, what? Okay, so what I mean by that is Well, if you were going to start building real machines of that size and structure and everything, wouldn't you want to know the wear and tear on that machine and to see what you need to build better and reinforce in certain ways to get the machine to operate
That's
at
why
max?
there's prototypes.
And that's why, yeah, and that's what this one is. It's a prototype, and so they're getting those pieces that they need to work in those ways. They're figuring out how to connect all these limbs and create these machines with armor. But now what they're also doing is they're finding out how to predict when like one of these machines might have a failure of like the arm being able to raise above its head. You know what I mean? Like they could predict that, oh, we've used the bend option too many times for that. It's wore out. You can't use it unless you get your bearing replaced or whatever. Or your piston's done too many high PSI movements. Your piston's wore out, you know. So that's what they're doing right now. They're finding out are they really going to use actuators and pistons and stuff, or are they going to go the other mecha routes, you know, depending, because that's what it's all boils down to, right? Is what mecha build is going to work the most easiest. Well, America went with Metal Gear Rex and AMOK and a couple other video games that they basically went with the Raptor style mech, the Raptor Light.
Oh, the anti-Rex.
Well, short arms and the legs that, you know, can drop all the way down and put the unit on the ground or lift straight up and not have any issue. They're just, I call them the T-Rex legs because they look like T-Rex legs, but really any raptor has that leg pattern, or, you know, the hind leg of a cat. That's kind of what these robots are looking like. They're looking like that. And so it's a pretty
I forget there's a name for it. Biped. That's up like.
bipedal. The certain kind. It's a specific kind of bipedal, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that's what America picked. Japan and China are going with mobile suits. China has actually built 2 paddle labors or paddle labors, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know what the actual name of the specific robot is. It's got a specific, but it's a police robot. And it makes a human 4 times bigger than it really is. That's how big this robot is. So it fits on the back of a semi-truck, and then you get in it, and then you can sit up and stand up in it and stuff. And yeah, China has 2 of them that they drive around and operate and stuff, which is crazy. Crazy cool, crazy. I don't know what to say about that besides I just, they were like, it was like one of those moments when they were building the Yokohama factory Gundam. China, it was like a oh yeah moment where China was like, yeah, check it out, we have big robots too, you know, type of a thing.
Oh yeah, that's always fun to watch. Like, what nerd doesn't like to watch either a giant robot fighting a kaiju or a giant robot fighting another giant robot with humanity-ending capabilities?
Oh, I think we all like that. That's fun stuff right there.
Yeah. Systems like control system and weapon systems that would be on par with almost a lot of the weaker deities that we've had throughout the ages.
Yes.
That's always fun.
All right. So the new kitchen sink faucet I installed is pretty cool. Works pretty good. It's got like 2 different spray options, and then you can move it wherever you want. The 2 sinks that you need to go. It's a great It was a great investment. The first one I bought was 100. The one I bought when I first bought this house and installed was 100, and I paid 169 for it. The one I just installed, I paid 45 for. So, except when you go into the stores, like when you go to retail, the one I bought at retail right now is going for $300. So I got it for $44.
Well, aren't you special?
I'm not special.
No.
I just went to Google and typed in what I was looking for and told them between this price and this price. And
Amazon.
well, it eventually pops up as Amazon, but when I Google it first just in case Google has like a local store that has it cheaper, so I can go pick it up at a local store. But if Google directs me to Amazon for the cheapest thing, well, then, I can't do it. Because you don't always save big money when you shop Menards. Look, Bit's over there trying to compose himself. Bit, you having a hard time.
Bite me.
Keep it together. Keep it together. No.
Hey man, can we take like a quick break though?
You want a break? You want to take a break? Take a break? What?
Yep.
We only have like 12 minutes left of the show.
Oh really? Wow, that went fast.
Yeah. How about instead? Oh, what? I learned something new. I can do crazy things.
Who said you couldn't teach an old dog a new trick?
That old dog. Well,
I guess you're not an old dog then.
Just a minute, everybody. We gotta hit this button real quick, okay?
Okay.
Hey everybody, head on over to Clarksville Hobby Depot. Punch in that code WebCOfficial to get 10% off a purchase of $25 or more. Clarksville Hobby Depot has a whole bunch of cool hobby items for sale. From RC cars to model planes and tanks. You can also find your favorite robot models at ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com. So head on over there and use that code.
Oh no. Who did I kick out? Oh, you shortened your thing. Don't worry. It's okay. I pull this out. Okay. This is the old school sticker from before 2022. And then down here, this sticker that's down on my workstation, that's the new sticker. That's the post 2022 sticker. So, yeah, we got a whole bunch of cool stickers for Clarksville. I'll probably send one bits away here on Friday, too. I'll send you probably this American flag style one because I got a couple of these. So, this is what you'll get. Yeah, and Bit is going to be doing a couple builds sponsored by WebCOfficial. That's what Bit's going to be doing here soon. So they'll be kit bash style builds, but he'll still be getting them done. I know he will. I got faith in Bit. It's a surprise. Shh, it's a surprise.
Oh boy.
Oh.
I'm psyched.
I wish I was still running that tournament that I was doing.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. I would love to go back and do it. It's just what happened was like 3 of the contestants that I had selected to get the bounty bags, they stopped being contestants.
I remember I was part of the chat back during the Kit Bash day, like when me, you, and he who shall not be named at this particular point in time.
That guy.
Yeah, but we were running that. I was running I was mostly in the Gundam Breaker part of the chat. I was running that pretty good, but you were really there was 2 or 3 guys that were in there. One round, and then it just stopped.
Yeah, but what happened was I sent out the bounty bag to 2 guys, and then one guy, the third guy, refused to send me his address for like 3 weeks. And I was like, dude, I want to get you this because I want this program to keep going. And then like he didn't, and then the next month came around, and the next guy didn't even respond to me after I told him he won until like almost a whole month later. And then he's like, well, I don't know about the import cost. How much is that going to cost me to pay for import? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I'm in a country, and anything that gets imported, I have to pay a tax as the importee. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. So I was like, well, and I want to host this as an international party, but if your country is doing that, how do I host an international party with it? You know what I mean? So I got frustrated with that.
Well, you could always try again. This time, you could do it through people, invite some people, from TikTok and Discord, and yeah.
Yes, I was definitely thinking about maybe not reissuing the same thing, but I have like this really cool Gundam idea for build competition where like a team build type of competition. Does that make sense?
I thought of something similar to that, but I was thinking for either a comp or like just a specific type of way you could do it, like an option for a comp is something called like what was it? A build mode. Like it's a mode, and then you have like little options you can like different rifle accessories, different extra armor, stuff like that.
Well, I have 2
like the
ideas.
strike.
No, I have 2 competition ideas for team building. One was where a team would divide up a kit, and you would send the divided parts to your teammates and have them work on, customize, and paint those parts and send them back, and have the captain assemble it and be the final assembler of the full kit. And then the other one that I was thinking of having them do is where each team member builds a kit, and then the captain would pick which order his team went against the other team. Like, so, you would see, or you wouldn't see what team members were going to be picked against you, but you would be able to be like, okay, I want this person on my team to go first. I want this person to go second. This person to go third. And then once you have your order lined up, then I would take that order and go to the other team and pick their order that they took and made. And then I would just put 1 and 1 next to each other, and then I would bring it to the voting booth, and we would vote that way. Everybody would get a chance to vote. And we were planning on using the Gundam channel that I was using, that I was adminning for, as the voting section, the voting booth, for those kits and stuff, and for that kind of a competition. But it didn't. Like I said, I wanted to take these winners from this bounty bag challenge thing that I was doing, and I wanted these winners to be the captains of these teams, and I wanted them to go out and find builders and recruit builders to be on their teams. That was my plan. That was like the whole competition that I wanted to host up and do. So. Anyways.
I could see that doing well in certain maybe different circumstances, maybe now this would be a good time to try it again, or do the team build off.
I'm gonna set that on the back burner for a while, and we'll get back into that whole concept later on again. I'll bring it back up again eventually. It's just I know right now that the goal is to try and grow the hobby. You know, that's just the end goal. And no matter what fashion or outcome we do, you know, and I'm not trying to be like, you know, in charge all the time. I want to help grow the hobby. I didn't like being in charge at the admin station that I was doing. I hated that job. I didn't like it. It was not rewarding. It made me look like something that I wasn't, or made me have to be somebody I didn't like being, you know, as an admin. And that's why, like, I have a totally chill rule list over there on Discord for my Discord server. It's like basically don't make me be something I'm not. You know, don't make me be that guy. Come in, hang out, have a good time, say hi, share your work, help each other, give tips, and move on. You know, I'm a simple
No need
person.
for negativity.
Yeah, right, exactly. No need for the negativity and all that fun stuff. So, yeah. All right. Oh, I got about 5 parts painted tonight while we were talking. Maybe I'll get one more done in these last 5 minutes here. We have 5 minutes left of the show, Vic. I want to remind myself to thank you for coming on and doing this interview, hanging out, talking, chit-chatting. And
It's always been a pleasure working with you on these like videos. Always really had fun with them.
I try to be an entertaining fool.
At least you're not like the jester from Lady Death.
Oh, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
It is, trust me.
Oh, okay.
Look it up. Look up if you have Crunchyroll or
Nope,
maybe
Crunchyroll
Hulu or
got
something.
canceled.
Huh?
I canceled my Crunchyroll. I had to. I just had to.
Yeah. Well, you might be able to find it another way, but it is. They did make a Japanese anime version.
Okay. Lady
They
Death,
made,
that's what you said?
oh,
Okay. I will check it out. Yes, I will. And then I'll buy everybody a Corvette, Mr. Fan. Captain Insano said he gonna open up a can of whoopage.
huh? Waterboy.
But Mama said alligators are ornery. Well, Mama's wrong again, boy.
Mama's not wrong. It can't Colonel Sanders there so hard that it knocked him in the next week.
Well, hello, Colonel Sanders. Well, hello, Bobby. Send regards to your mama. Okay, Colonel Sanders. Mama's not wrong, is she? Oh, Mama's wrong again, Bobby. Mama's wrong again. Then Bobby had to tell Mama she was wrong. And I know how that felt. Totally know how that felt.
I always thought his movies were funny.
Adam Sandler, his movies, I feel like he's a child of the arts. He studied the greats and he took what they did and he enhanced it and brought it into the modern times.
Yeah.
Because listen, like a lot of people don't know, but like if you watch his movies, he's doing Shakespeare. He's doing all those old writers. He's doing their work. He's doing it
In his one way.
through his scope, through his lens, what he sees as the comic view of it, you know, and stuff like that. And I truly love all of his work. I don't think there's a single Adam Sandler movie I just like.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Punch
Like-
Drunk Love and The Wedding Singer. I like them all.
I like Wedding Singer. I also thought Happy Gilmore, Waterboy definitely. Daddy's Boy, or Daddy's Boy, I mean. That was a
All right,
good one.
everybody. We're going to say goodnight for the night. Thanks for everybody coming out, hanging out with us over here at WebC Official. And it has been another great night on WebC Bills. And thank you again, Big Cloudwize, for coming and hanging out with us. Let's get out of here.
Today we're going to science some plastic. What's he builds? What's he builds? What's he builds? Some plastic. What's he builds? Some plastic. Science. Some plastic.